Womansplaining men to women compilation 35 to 41. There's more than just there's 35. There's like 41 compilations of this. That's interesting. By the Dadvocate. Let's go. Let's see some womansplaining.
Men don't want to chase you. They don't want to play chase at all. They want to play tag. They want someone who's going to get them back. They want someone who's going to make them faster, stronger, more strategic. Someone who's going to challenge them.
Why he hadn't put
I mean, oh no. I mean, yeah. In a sense, like, it's not like tag, more like reciprocating, you know? Not just wanting, also giving. I think that's more so accurate.
laundry away, and he got annoyed and said, "They're your clothes." I chose violence.
Oh boy.
Then lol.
Okay, fair enough.
On my side of the bed.
How is that productive? You sleep there too. That's gonna affect you.
Not hungry.
Wow, the post-its. Matt, enjoy. Enjoy, bitch. Weird flex, but okay. Now, I am aware that over 1 million people have liked this video. I'm also just gonna point out there's a reason the divorce rate is so high. Let's start here. Now, this is the only context we get from his side. So personally,
I need to read this again, because that went completely past me. I asked my husband why he hadn't put laundry away, and he got annoyed and said, "They're your clothes." Yes, I guess you're trying to make a point, but I feel like it's a bit too, you went a bit too far, you know? Instead of doing everything, just do the clothes, I feel like. I think you went a bit too far with this one. I understand where this lady is coming from. Like, I get it. But it's a bit too much.
let's start here. Now, this is the only context we get from his side. So personally, I'm kind of with him off the bat. I find the concept of someone else putting away my clothes kind of strange. I grew up in a house where everyone just put away their own clothes, and personally, I know if my husband tried that he would do it wrong, and I would just be frustrated not being able to find everything where I would put it, which is probably why a lot of guys would not enter this territory. It's a very personal and intimate task. She also clarifies in a follow-up video that he actually asked, why should I put this away when it's mostly your clothes, agreeing
I feel like I'm European, okay? She's American, I'm European. Like, putting away each other's clothes is is actually quite normal. It's like walking into the bathroom while you're taking a shit. While somebody else is taking a shit. This is pretty normal around here. It is what it is.
That he only had a couple pairs of socks in there and it was mostly her stuff. But her point is that you do things for your family, which I do agree with. But that reaction was insanely petty. In the self-proclaimed 3 to 4 days it took her to do all of this, they could have just had a civil renegotiation about what a fair and equitable distribution of laundry labor looks like. In a follow-up video, she claims that she can't talk to him and this is the only thing that works for them. She also claims that he loved this move and fist bumped her afterward and that it resolved everything. Like, it's...
You're talking out of your ass. This woman is full of shit. I do not believe that. Like, that would annoy me. That would annoy me, but I'm also not like that, so I wouldn't understand.
Times like this, I wish I had a bullshit button where every time I hit it, it just goes, that's bullshit. Ladies, pro tip, that is not what's gonna happen if you do this. Because again, this is her making these claims. We haven't actually seen this husband in any of her videos verifying these claims. If we saw a man make a video where he bought food for everybody in the house except for his wife, and then was like, nah, bro, she loved it, she was so sorry, we would be like, yeah, I want to see her say it. Now let's go to the comments to see more Olympic event levels of pettiness instead of simply and respectfully talking to their partners. This woman's husband left dishes in the sink, so she made a bunch of cinnamon rolls and then ate the centers. This one...
I need to read that. I made my husband a batch of cinnamon rolls, but ate the middle out of all of them as a revenge for him constantly leaving dishes in the sink. That is evil, I adore it. What? What? Huh? Why? Why would you do that? Why? This is Anne in Wonderland. You're not in Wonderland. You're in hell. You're the ruler.
Cinnamon rolls and then ate the centers? This woman hides her husband's pants when he leaves them lying around.
Chosen to hide the clothes he leaves lying around. Good luck finding your favorite pants. again, this is just like a little over top. Isn't this a side saying communication is key? Where's your communication? That's not communication.
And this woman thinks it would be somehow easier to get an entire divorce and find an entirely new...
It would be less work and much easier to get a new husband. What if the new husband does the same, though?
New man. One of these days remind me to do an entire video about this whole if my man acts up, I'm just going to go to the man tree and pick out a brand new man who's magically going to be better for me fallacy that's going on right now. But here's unironically my favorite comment. My parents did that all the time. They're divorced now. I mean, that's it right there. Some of these women really think that they're helping other women by creating this relatable content, but all I see are women telling on themselves and shitting on their partners. Guys, remember that?
Stop taking dating advice from other people that are not professionals. If you struggle in your marriage, seek out professional help. Go to marriage counseling if needed. Don't go on TikTok and see some retarded dude or bitch and follow their advice. That won't help. It won't. What do you mean?
That once you get into the habit of publicly shaming your partner, you cannot simply unring that bell. You just made over 1 million people, including your friends and your family, see your husband as an incompetent piece of shit asshole. And for a lot of them, that's all he's ever going to be now. I'm just saying, some of y'all are trading the...
Not gonna lie, if my partner would publicly shame me for something and air it on the internet, over immediately. I'm done. Not gonna lie. That'd be a reason. That may not be a reason to divorce, but it'd definitely be a reason for like a breakup. 100%.
Entire respect of your life partner for likes, and it's super fucking cringe. Men don't want to chase you. They don't want to play chase at all. They want to play tag. They want someone who's going to get them back. They want someone who's going to make them faster, stronger, more strategic, someone who's going to challenge them. Like, imagine being a kid at a playground and another kid comes up to you and asks if you want to play, and you're like, what do you want to play? And they're like, chase. And you're like, cool, how's that go? I chase you, and then what? And then they're like, and then you just keep chasing me forever. What the shit is that? That's the most boring game ever. If you want to chase, chase back. If he wanted to, he would. Where does this phrase come from, and why do dudes...
With the chasing thing, I'm like, you stop putting it into weird words. This is super... You can put this way more simple. I don't think it's just men who would like that, but also women. Reciprocate is what the point is. Don't just take and receive, also give. I think that's the core of it. And yeah, the phrase, if he wanted to, he would, I hate that. If they wanted to, they would. It's just like, I don't know. I hate this idea. Because what if... See? You're two people. What if both of you think if they wanted to, they would? Then nobody will. I find that weird. She's just straight up putting other girls down. She most likely doesn't even know the whole situation. She's acting like this know-it-all. Yeah, but you can't really do anything. Yeah, she doesn't know the full situation. But I do feel like if you have to be petty in your relationship, then something's wrong. And instead of just doing worse stuff, because that's how I see it, these women were doing worse stuff to have a get back, and I feel like that's not solving the problem.
Dudes hate it so much. So this phrase definitely originated on TikTok and rose to power around the same time as the weaponized incompetence surge, and it's become this empowering phrase that women use to remind each other that if their man isn't acting right, another man will.
I do weaponize incompetence sometimes, but it's really just out of laziness. Like, I just act like I'm incompetent so I don't have to do it. But it's not really weaponized, I'm just lazy. I just don't want to do it. At least in that moment, I'm lazy.
The problem is that, and the reason that a lot of men don't appreciate being put in this box, is that it's not that simple. Like, especially for neurodivergent dudes, of which there are many, just because they want to do something doesn't mean it gets done. Just like us, there are so many things that men want to do, but just like us, there are so many circumstances and variables in life that lead to those things not getting done for whatever reason. And so when the assumption is placed on them that the only reason it's not getting done is because they don't care or they don't want to help, that's kind of like a knife through the heart, you know? I know for a fact that every single one of you watching right now has something that you've always wanted to do that has still not come to fruition. And if I were to tell you that
she isn't wrong here. She isn't wrong. She isn't wrong. We all do. Now I just think this phrase is retarded because what if both of you think that way? Then what? Then what? Nobody's gonna do anything. If you really want to tell somebody something, or you want somebody to do something, just fucking tell them.
That the only reason that has not happened for you yet is because you simply don't want it, I don't think you would agree. Fellow mothers of TikTok, I have a message for you. Hand him the baby. What do I mean by that? Let me guess. You don't even remember the last time that you went out alone with your friends to do something all night. You feel overwhelmed, overstressed. You feel like you're losing yourself because you're taking care of everyone else. Hand him the baby. I don't know what might be holding you back, honestly, because I was born with the not giving a fuck gene, so if I need a break, I just tell my husband I need a break. But if it's that you're too afraid to ask for help, or...
I think it's that, but I feel like it's also that we have kind of created a environment in society where it's like... I recall a lot of ads here in Germany, for example, where it was like, the dad gets like put into this like incompetent bumbling fool, and like there was like an ad where like the dad left the child alone and like stuff, or couldn't take care of the child. I kind of really hate that idea, and I feel like this reinforces the society that fathers can't take care of children, which is not true. Fathers can take care of children. You can hand the child that you two made also to your husband or boyfriend or whatever. Completely ridiculous, right? But you forget dudes are more direct in that sense, whereas women will refuse to tell you and how... Guess at it. Yeah, but the problem is that this shouldn't happen. We should teach women to if there's an issue, please do tell. Or go, you should already know if you love me. Yeah, that's also one of the retarded things. Like, what? I'm not a mind reader. Most people aren't a mind reader. If you would treat women that way, they would lose their mind, which is why I don't do it.
You feel like you'll be seen as a bad mom, or you're afraid he won't do a good job. Hand him the baby. Men are just like us. You hand them the baby, they figure it out. It'll be fine. Is he going to do things the same way as you? Hell no. Are things going to be different? Yes. And that's okay. Parents have to help each other have lives outside of their kids and each other, and a good partner will want to do that for you. For example, every Sunday, my husband invites the guys over and they play Dungeons and Dragons for a few hours while I watch the kids. And during the week, I like to train jiu-jitsu, and while I do that, he's watching the kids when they're not training with me. We have each other's backs because it's important that we don't lose those important parts of ourselves. Ladies, don't lose yourself. Hand him the baby.
It is a fact that men want what they can't have. They want what is not easily accessible to them.
Hot take, I think that's all humans, actually. I think that's all humans. You want what you can't have, and once you do have it, you don't care anymore. I feel like this is a general thing. I feel like this is not particularly anything that men do. Women do that as well. We should teach women. See, in America, you already messed up. Well, Frog disproves this. She's an American lady. If something's up, she immediately comes to me and tells me, sexist, you should do better, try harder, Disney New Camp America.
Oh, no. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about men. It is simply not true. Of course, no one likes overly clingy people, but if you're talking and then all of a sudden you make him feel unwanted or that you're inaccessible, he may still want you, but he's certainly not going to want you more. when you just pull out like that, it doesn't make him want to chase you. He's just a little bit confused as to why you're suddenly not talking to him when he thought you were a perfectly nice girl.
I feel like what I've seen is that if you give a dude kind of the feeling that he isn't really wanted there, then they kind of become nonchalant in a way where, like, they do still care, but they don't really show that much anymore. I also see that with, like, men that where they're, like, childish side, because let's face it, boys, we all have a childish side to us. Women also do have that, but not to the degree where, like, I've seen that where dudes also change and get, like, nonchalant. It's really odd. It's really weird. I don't know why we're doing that. I don't know. It's something that I've witnessed.
Think about it. A girl that's focused on herself and her life and treats men as, like, supplemental as opposed to necessary, that's what guys want. That's what guys respect, and that's what they're into.
I don't know. If I feel like I have no chance, I'm not going to attempt. I don't want that. Like, I like a clingy woman. I do like that. Thank you. Don't ruin the fun for everybody else here. I like a clingy woman.
Also false. Huge misconception that men only want to feel wanted, not needed. Okay, they don't want you to be entirely reliant on them, especially if it's for their wallet, but they want to feel super fucking necessary. They spend all day...
I hate this entire idea of wanting to be wanted, not needed. I feel like that, like, this whole concept of being needed is, like, completely, like, shit on, and I'm like, you don't want to be like in what's the word? I'm looking for the word. Wait, I need to Google it. Like in like like being, like, not needed and, like, being independent. I feel like it is kind of, the idea is kind of retarded, because, like, let's face it, if you like somebody, you will always be in a kind of dependent state. Like, your emotions will certainly depend on somebody else's feelings towards you if you like them. And I feel like being like this, like, completely separate, like, not needed, not depending on somebody for anything, it's like, yeah, good luck building a relationship with that, where, like, you both have built, like, this wall of distance. Thank you. That relationship is going to die immediately. My childish side just wants to be treated like an anthropomorphic dog that gets praised occasionally. Sorry if that's weird. That is weird, bro. But you do you. That is weird.
Long in society being told that they're not necessary. They do not want a partner who also makes them feel unnecessary. If you can make your partner feel that not only you want to need him, but that he is wanted and needed by society, by the world, you will have a very powerful man. And I'm sorry, but notice that it's always single women giving this advice to leave men on red so that you can maintain your power, as she says later in that video.
That's also what I find funny. Single women giving advice or single men giving advice. Sure, bro. Sure.
Video. Dudes like it when you text them. What the fuck? Anyway, to wrap up this video, let's play the very ending of her video and see how it ages.
The only kind of guy that this won't work on is a narcissist or somebody who is extremely insecure and can't handle a self-confident girl. And if you want proof, ask literally any guy and he'll tell you that I'm right.
Ladies, when I tell you that guys cannot help but be smartasses when they're being micromanaged, this is what I mean.
My boyfriend did the grocery shopping, and I texted him and said, make sure you put everything in the fridge. What did he do? Put everything in the fridge. Y'all.
Mission failed successfully? I guess? Mission failed successfully? I mean, he listened. He listened. He just took it way too literally, and he put just actually everything into the fridge. But he did listen. That's a success? Weird, everyone likes being praised. Yeah. I think the anthropomorphic dog thing threw me off, but okay, yeah. Sure, yeah.
You're joking.
The toilet paper. That face.
He's proud of it, but yeah, he did what was asked for. He did. So, I see no issue, you know? Successful.
Can't even be mad. When you realize a guy asking, "What do you bring to the table?" is the exact same as him saying, "I have nothing to offer you." False. And welcome to Woman.
Yeah, that's the equivalent to a woman saying, "I am the table. You have nothing to offer." Once again, the table is made by two people coming together. Hot take, I know.
Womansplaining Men to Women, episode 41. If a man asks you this, it is not a personal attack. It is because he has been through it. A man who asks this question has been used so much for what he can offer that he is damn ready for some reciprocity. And when you choose to deflect that question with attack or avoidance, that tells him everything he needs to know about the fact that the jig is up for you. Because at that point, he knows what type of woman you are. This type of woman.
Wait, I didn't read that. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The cheat code for becoming a stay-at-home girlfriend is simple. One date, rich guys who can't afford your lifestyle and not no one else. So here's my thing, right? Frog wants to be a stay-at-home mom, right? Frog wants to be a stay-at-home mom. She also knows, though, and is realistic about it, that this may not work. This may not work. Dating rich guys will not get you stay-at-home girlfriend. The thing you will get is you will become part of a stay-at-home harem, if anything. Or just pump and dump, as some would like to say. That's not the cheat code. The cheat code is finding a man that actually likes you and wants to give you that. And in this economy, kind of difficult to find somebody who can make you stay at home. These standards are just so stupidly unrealistic. Like look at the economy. Look at it. Just the one look is enough. And I feel like this is a general thing, not specifically to dating. I feel like Zoomers, a lot of Zoomers, have no concept of money. Like, they have no understanding of money, where it comes from, like, nothing. Like, they have no understanding how to handle money. Which also adds to this, that things are super expensive now. These days, it's hard for both people to do not work, at least on our side. Here's Krokrock. Hi, Krokrock. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. Yeah. Yeah. It can almost not be afforded. Or it is affordable, but it's like, you're gonna be living it like, really like bare minimum. In a bare minimum kind of way.
Woman. A manipulator with her eyes on one thing. And serious question, are these guys affording your lifestyle or your desired lifestyle? Because if you rely on a man to provide that lifestyle, it's not your lifestyle, it's a lifestyle that's being provided for you, usually with conditions. So what he's also asking with that question is, why do you feel so entitled to such a high-value lifestyle? And you can't just say, oh, because women have intrinsic value. Great, so then what makes you different than all of the other intrinsically valuable?
I feel like me personally, I don't care. Like, I'm happy that Frog literally does not care about how much money I have. Like, she literally doesn't care. I'm broke, she's broke. This is perfect. A match made in heaven. I don't care. And if you care about how much money I make, I will run the other way. I do not care. Very simple. I can't get my own place because of 2020. I'm 33. Yep, the pandemic ruined a lot. Like here, most people, like, more and more people are going back home. There was a recent survey, and like a lot of people, like in their 30s, are going back home to their parents' houses because it's just easier and more affordable. A lot of people in their 20s, they move out, they move back into with their parents again because it's just too expensive and they can't pay for it. It's just horrid here. So maybe like $10 or more. That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm gonna be 31 on the 30th, and I've had my own place for 6 years now. Yep. You are lucky to have your own place.
Women. And don't get me wrong, you're allowed to choose which wealth class you will exclusively date in. You're allowed to set any standards you want. And so are men, which is why they can and should be asking you what you bring to the table to ensure that you meet theirs. And ladies, stop taking dating advice from sugar babies. They don't know how to date. They only know how to leech.
That's very true. That's the end of the video. I think she made some good explanations, some good points. I feel like some things feel kind of pick-me-ish, but then again, she has been picked, so is she really a pick-me? I don't know. I just feel like we're focusing way too much on retarded things, and we're listening to people that we should not be listening to. I think I'm a thorough believer that third parties can ruin a relationship. Don't get people too involved into your relationship. Doesn't matter. Friends, siblings, family. I feel like people are getting too involved in other people's lives.